Well, hello, and a very warm welcome back to Garden Club. It's really good to be with you in this way today. If you've never been to Garden Club before, you are equally welcome. Here we are, in the fourth week in May, looking forward to all sorts of wonderful things for the summer, but also enjoying the most beautiful things around and about at the moment. And I look forward to sharing those with you in the next few minutes. What are we going to do today? Well, we're going to be planting out the French marigolds that we sowed together at the beginning of March, and also some Mimulus, both of which are looking absolutely lovely at the moment and are in full bloom. Before that though, I thought we might sow the nasturtiums together. We always sow some nasturtiums quite late now, because when you sow them now, they're really lovely late in the summer, and they'll give us a splash of colour in September. And it's nice to think of some glorious summer flowers continuing on into the autumn for as long as we possibly can. So let's start by that, and then I've got some other things to show you as well. So over to the greenhouse. So here we are, ready with the nasturtium seeds. Nasturtiums, of course, have been big seeds. They're one of those things that I think many of us remember sowing when we were children. It's the kind of thing you know, easy to sow when you're a child. And I know over the years, lots of people have told me stories about how they remember sowing these and how they would come up. You just sow them direct in the ground, of course, if you want to, but we want to plant them in pots later on, so that's why we're putting them in trays, but and quite neatly. But you could just sow them there. I remember all sorts of things about nasturtiums. They're wonderful for growing up over old, sort of rather untidy places. I can remember old air raid shelters having these growing over the top of them. When I was a boy, they got sort of air raid shelters were still lying around in people's gardens, used as garden sheds and things, you know. But we'll zip these in here, and they'll be lovely. I'm lining them up just so it's easier to prick them out later on, but you know, you can just cast them in really. Anyway, there's some nasturtiums. Let's go over and plant the French marigolds and the Mimulus next, and see what else there is to see. So, now for your French marigolds. They have grown beautifully. So here we are, looking absolutely lovely. There we are, some nice examples of French marigold there. We're going to pop those in now, and they're going to be lovely. One of the great things about this, you know, is that they bloom for months. Last summer, those of you who were at Garden Club last summer may remember that they were blooming, well, almost up until the frost really. And you know, I know some people turn their nose up a little bit at marigolds, but I think they're great. So we'll pop those in. Let's see how we go with that. There we are. There's one there. Very nice. And we'll get a few more in around the edge, and they'll bush out together and be lovely. Now, French marigolds, of course, as many of you will remember, don't come from France. They come from Mexico. So, never believe everything you hear in a name. They are Mexican. And the whole long story, which I've shared with you many times before, about why French marigolds are called French marigolds and not, for instance, Mexican marigolds. However, I will explain a little bit more about that in a moment or two. There you are, French marigolds, all planted and looking lovely. Really a picture for the summer, so I don't know what's not to like about French marigolds. And so, now for your Mimulus. We sowed these together in the spring and they're absolutely beautiful. Mimulus are marvellous because they come in such a range of colours. One packet of seeds gives us all sorts of lovely colours. Just look at that one. An absolutely gorgeous sort of orangey colour with some yellow in the middle and some red spots. And then you get a bright yellow one like this, sort of buttercup yellow, absolutely gorgeously bright yellow, brilliantly one. And then one sort of in between there, look at that. That's a lovely sort of, how to describe that, lovely sort of butter yellow, that one. Again, with some lovely hints of pink and red in there. And then of course these lovely gorgeous spotty ones you get, look at that. Outrageous, that one, isn't it? So let's zip these in, take a few dead heads off. They'll be marvellous. If we keep deadheading them, they'll go on flowering for a little bit longer. They don't last all that long, but they are marvellous whilst they're out, and they're great, great flowers. So here we are. Let's get this ready. We'll put perhaps put the yellow one maybe in the middle this time. Perhaps. In it goes. That's one. And then let's get some red one over here. Look, let's zip him in. That one. That'll be lovely in there. Mimulus are so beautiful. We'll sow some more for later on in the season to give us a sort of extension. They grow really quickly from seed. They go from seed to flower. They're amongst some of the quicker plants that bloom from seed. Not so many people have them, but they should do, because they look marvellous and they're ever so easy to grow. Ever so easy. It's one of those, when we sowed the seeds together earlier on in the season, it's one of those where the seeds were so small, I can imagine you saying to me, but there's nothing there, when you saw them on my hand and on your hand. So there they go, in they go. Some Mimulus. That will be wonderful. Marvellous, there we are. Marvellous Mimulus. What could be better than that? Lovely. So there we are. That's something from Garden Club for this week. And here we are in a corner of the hay meadow next to the nursery. And I'm just standing by some elderberry. The elderberries have come into bloom now. So I suppose for those of you who would know about elderflower wine, this would be the time to be picking the elderflowers. And later on there'll be lots of elderberries. So as you know, I rather love the things that we find in the hedgerows. And so now it's time for elderberries. Earlier on we saw the blackthorn together, then the hawthorn, and now the elderberries. So there we are. Anyway, so as the sun sets over the field and over the nursery, I shall wish you all well, and I shall very, very much look forward to connecting with you again this way next time. So I shall leave you with some more beautiful things from the garden and say bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.